PD is 6th of September 2022, but still my petition is not moved to the National Visa Center. Do you have any idea of what's going on at the USCIS? Chris, this is very frustrating. We have even some nurses who've had earlier priority dates where their cases have not moved to the National Visa Center. I know there was an issue earlier in the Texas Service Center earlier in the year. So what to do in this kind of circumstance? Because it does.
There's nothing the nurse can really do. There's very little the attorney or the employer can do, but there is a little bit that they can do, which is if the employer and the lawyer notice that the case is just stuck, as Mike says, it takes a lot to get those cases unstuck. They do get unstuck. It just takes a while. So there's two basic concepts that we use. First, if the case was filed premium processing, we will try to email the premium processing service to make sure that the case was moved from the Texas Service Center, or for that matter, any other service center, to the National Visa Center. So that's one idea, and that's usually where we start. And sometimes the premium processing center is helpful, and other times they just simply say, well, we send it to the National Visa Center and we're moving on. Inquiries at the NVC are harder, which is why the second usual attack that we will take is if the employer has contacts with their local congressional office. If the congressional office puts in a call, that usually gets people at the USCIS and or the National Visa Center to lean forward and look for the case. They're not going to move immediately, but that sometimes helps nudge the case along. So those are two tactics that we might use in a situation like that.
Okay. And just one thing also clear, we did have some cases with one of our clients, and this is just heartbreaking to me because I know we've had some nurses who are just so frustrated where they get stuck. It's an issue on the government side. One other thing also that we have done successfully at Kinetics is to work with the hospital's government affairs department,
right,
and work with the local congressman or senator's office, and they can flag the cases and get those cases unstuck, as Chris has said.
Yeah,
so the good news
we've worked with you guys on that, I know.
Yeah, yeah. So, as Chris said, this is incredibly frustrating, especially when you see some of the people that had been filed the same time as you and their cases are kind of just smoothly going through and then yours is stuck. But the good news is that it does get unstuck. It just takes time and we have to work on a lot of different avenues to try and resolve the problem.
Right.